Okay, so I told you we'll have a bunch of homegrown talents talking. The next topic is Pekru from ReDimension Games. He's going to talk about the realities of game development in the Northeast. Pekru, it's all yours.
Yeah, thanks, Majay. Hi, good afternoon, everyone. So a little bit of a change. My talk will be more from a less businessy side. I want to talk about more of like our perspective on how our game development journey has been and what are the challenges. Hopefully we can learn something. I'm aware that there's a lot of very highly experienced people in the audience. I hope you can take something from our experiences as well. Anyway, some disclaimers. I have this is more of a personal opinion, so I may be critical of something, and some advices I give you might not work for you because you need to be aware of the context that I'm speaking. So the advices which work for me may work for you differently in a different in your own personal context. So we are ReDimension Games. This is our core team. We started off as me as a programmer and design. And Imli, he's not here with us today. He was the person in charge of all the art and animation, everything art related. And we have Loy V in the crowd. He's our music composer. So we started off as a team of 3 initially, but this year we have scaled up to a team of 8. This is our full team. We have been working together for about 3 months now. Can you play the video? This is a trailer from our game. These are a bunch of screenshots from our game. I just wanted to show you guys a little bit of what we do before we move on to talking about what the game is about. Just a quick show of hands. Has anybody played Hyper Light Drifter? So I don't know if you can notice the similarities, but it's very heavily inspired by Hyper Light Drifter and a game called Enter the Gungeon. It's a roguelite bullet hell. So this is a key art from our game. So this is where we derive most of our visuals from. It's a reference point. So about Sojourn Pass, it's a 2D action adventure with some bullet hell elements. When we were designing the game, we wanted it to be. We want to mix some genres to keep it to keep things fresh, you know. And we found that maybe this combination could work because the game has a lot of interesting mechanics, but we don't want it to be just another action adventure, right? It has so just having this mix of genres spices things up a lot. So and at the same time, we also have a lot of emphasis on the story we want to portray the game. Most of the times, games either lean heavily on gameplay and or story. We wanted to achieve a balance of that, and we needed to come up with a theme. So it's not something we're comfortable with working, but eventually we found that it's a very interesting topic to discuss. So the theme is the game is based around the concept of dealing with the 5 stages of grief. So it's essentially anger, bargaining, depression, denial, and acceptance. These are the 5 different emotions you go through when you encounter a loss. Maybe you lose a loved one. So we try to explore those themes through our music, art, visuals, emotions, storytelling, and everything else. We have some pillars while making the game. We use it as a reference point. What our game is about, right? I mean, what are the things the game should stand on? So obviously, gameplay is king. Without fun gameplay, the game is not going to work. And we need our world to feel immersive. How do we do that? Through expressive audio. The ambience can just pull you in as you're walking through a forest. You actually feel like it sounds like a forest, and you hear these footsteps and of your feet crunching on leaves. So we try to bring all these elements together to make the world as immersive as possible. And also, we need to have impressive visuals. Our game is pixel art. I would not say it's super very high definition photorealistic. This is not something we're trying for, but we want it to have that unique art direction. So something on a much smaller scale, which a small team like us can achieve. But because stuff like photorealism is beyond us right at the moment. So we need to keep things as condensed as possible, and these are the pillars we use. And the most important of all, this is more of a personal goal for me, but I want the game to value the player's time. You don't have to needlessly spend every day logging in, collecting, waiting for your energy to fill up and stuff like that, right? You just experience the story. You feel it's really worth it. Like you watch a really good movie, right? At the end of the movie, you feel like it's worth your time and you are fully satisfied with it. That's it. That's the thing this is more my personal goal, but this is the thing I try to put with my games. The previous speaker before me mentioned we won the upcoming game of the year at IGDC last year, and we are part of Krafton India Gaming Incubator. We have been selected through the incubator program. Please bear with me as I go back a little bit into the story of how we started, because I need that to. I feel like it would help because I see a lot of young students here also. It started back in 2012 with me experimenting around with RPG Maker. So this was my first game engine. I played a lot of RPG Maker games. Does anybody know RPG Maker engine? Oh, I see 1, 2, 3. Okay, nice. So I basically grew up playing RPG Maker games because those games were accessible to me. Most of them were free. And it was this was during my college. This was mainly me experimenting with the engine, and then I participated in the game jam. I wish I had a score, but I think my score was 8 out of 70 probably. There were a lot of categories, but I learned a lot of things, and that fueled my interest in game development. And during this time, I actually began to start looking for, can I actually do this? Can I start? I was doing my computer science engineering, by the way, when this happened. So it was basically me asking myself, can I take this path? Then I started to learn Unity 2016. And I joined a mobile game development company in Bangalore for 3 months. And it was so crushing. I hated it. And then because it's more to do with my personality also, I would say. So I had 2 options then. Should I pursue some studies abroad and go for PC development, or what do I do? There's this, or should I just come back home and then maybe give it 1 or 2 years, maybe pursue solo game development. This time I think games like Undertale, Stardew Valley, Fez, lots of games by those solid developers who were making very waves in the industry, right? So I was also very inspired by those games. And so I came back home. 2018. I was pursuing my solo development career. That was 6 months. And then I realized, that I can see. Right. So I quickly realized that I'm terrible at art. So I started looking for artists. That's when I saw Imli's Instagram page, and then I just reached out to him, and hey, I'm doing this. Do you want to join? He said, sure. Okay. That's how we began working together. And I'd like to reiterate. Okay, I had almost zero experience at this time. I mean, you can't call it relevant experience. And Imli was fresh out of college. He was not doing art. It was a hobby for him, and he was also learning during that time. He was not pursuing any professional game art degree or whatever. So we started together working. We started on a turn-based RPG because I was very familiar with the RPG Maker engine. I wanted to replicate that. And then we realized that it's so much work. We need to scale down the game. We need to change the project actually. So we told ourselves, we'll just design some bosses. We'll have a boss rush game in Pixel. This was the second year, towards the end of 2019. And again, we realized that Imli has a very hard time animating. He can draw static stuff, but he's not an animator. So yeah, a lot of problems due to inexperience, and we have no idea, right? We're just optimistic, but very stupidly optimistic, I would say. But that was one of the driving forces, what kept us going also. Bad results, end of the year. And then 2020, we wanted to pivot because at the same time, we were also looking for people to join the team. So we met a 2D animator. So now it's time to pivot again. Now we are going to make a boss rush game, but in 2D, not non-pixel, because the 2D animator who is working with us doesn't know pixel art, but he knows how to do 2D, right? She knows how to do this, sorry. And then the person left us after a couple of months, and then Imli and I decided we will go back to our original pixel 2D, but maybe we did some more pivoting, and that's when we met Loevi. We also wanted to have that music to play a role in the game. So all these years I'm talking about, it's us at the same time working on the game, and also us looking for people to join the team as well. So there were some people along this all these years of journey who left us, a lot of rejections. And 2020 COVID ended, and then 2021 we started fresh. And Imli and I, we came back after our vacation probably at home during COVID. We returned, and then we started after a game called After Eden. So After Eden was we are on our third year right now. So we have gotten better during this time. So the development of After Eden started, and After Eden was the game which we took most out of. I would call it a prototype of a Sojourn Pass. So we introduced some mechanics from different games we wanted to. We wanted to do Fury. Does anybody know the game Fury? So we wanted to do Fury in 2D actually with After Eden. So we had this parry mechanic, and then we were experimenting with our dagger teleportation mechanics, and a lot of the combat as well. And this was when I was also starting to improve as a programmer. Our AI started to become a little bit better, and then our animations, our just the way we draw our environments, our art in general also started to get better. And we released a public demo in 2021. We reached out to a few guys from Game Dev India. I think Machai knows Yadu. Yeah. So we reached out to him also, and then he connected us with some fellow indies, like the guys from Fishball. And then we did some public testings. And then, yeah, that game was not perfect, but it gave us the confidence that, we have something special here, right? We just need to tweak it a little bit more. So that's when Sojourn Pass was born. We completely removed the parry system to make it work for 2D, because it was a nightmare to work into the for that system mechanic, right? So we pivoted, and then Surgeon Pass was born 2022, and then we spent an entire year on it, and the next year until IGDC happened, and we had a pretty polished demo, I would say, by then, and it ended up winning upcoming game of the year. And 2024 we got selected for Captain Incubation, and which has allowed us to grow the team. And now we are a little bit more ambitious now. Surgeon Pass has definitely changed in terms of scope, but we are also confident that we can deliver a much better product. So that's our story. Thank you for bearing with me until now. Now to the real topic of realities of game development in Nordics. As I mentioned before, there is no game dev community or opportunities. You want to work, go to the city, and I mean that's kind of the truth, right? People don't know what is game development. From where I'm from Kohima. It's a small town. People don't even know. When I tell people I do game development, they ask me, "Oh, you are in gaming?" They say, "No, it's different. Gaming is different from game development." And yeah, even if we wanted to hire people, at that time we did not have the money, and even now we struggle with that problem because there's. Let's not get into that now. Anyway, there's a huge talent pool drain. Like I said, everyone goes to the cities and nobody wants to actually come back. And even if somebody wants to come back, there's no infrastructure for them to actually exercise this. It's a huge risk. Like you're just risking with your entire career probably. So maybe we are an outlier. Maybe we are the ones who took those risks. But I feel like we need more risk takers at the moment. More into that later. And also, one problem we face right now is you wanna. If me as a, I don't want to. I just want to be a game developer. Let's say, for example, I don't want to found any studio. I just want to work in a game development studio. There's no game development studio to actually work for, right? And in my case, during 2012, 2015, there was no studio for PC game development in India. I am pretty sure. And there's no, this is particularly my state, there is no support system for entrepreneurs, for people to take risks. But it's slowly changing now. And that also brings the, so, so every day a power cut will happen. I mean, it's a way of life now. You can't change it. So we just adjust around it. Oh, so in spite of these problems, I would like to put forward the question: why do it in the first place, right? Why do you pursue this path? It's just answer is very simple, because we just want to make games, right? We just want to make it happen. Not all is grim. There is hope. Look for hope. You will find it. So now, Emily and I, we had a very hard time finding people during our journey. But occasionally you find these glimmers of hope in people. There was one person in 2022 who joined our team as a trainee. Just for context, he has dropped out class 11 and he wanted to pursue programming, game programming. And he reached out to me, and then I just talked to him, and then he said, okay, let's try it out. Then I discovered that he had a very strong aptitude for programming. So I taught him everything I know, and that was probably a year of training, and it happened parallel during IGDC as well, right? I was not fully part of the team. So over this 1 year period of time, he has become really dependable and really good at his job. And when the Crafton funding happened, he was the first person I offered, like, this is, do you want to join? Now we can actually pay you, right? So sometimes you got to take chances with people. You can't find it. You have to create opportunities yourself. And we were burned a lot of times. Emily and I were burned a lot of times with giving chances to people. But it's just something you have to keep on continuously doing. And now we're in a better place. And this is a more of an advice to maybe a young studio who wants to create this. If you want to pursue, if you want to grow as a studio, I would say you need to create an environment to allow people to thrive. What do I mean by thrive? It's not just about you, it's about their career also. They need to enjoy what they do. You can't tightly grip everything, and which will come in terms of monetary assets also. But you need to make sure that everyone is valued and their lives are worth. And now I think the present industry, present situation is much better than what we used to have before. Now we have actually, we are part of Krafton India Incubator, and now there's guys like Sony IHP programs and so many more support. And it's very, what was that word? It's not achievable, but I would just go with it. These financial goals are more achievable right now. Accessible, sorry, yeah. Accessible financial needs are more accessible for everyone. It's just a matter of putting yourself out there and getting out of your comfort zone, and yeah. And like I mentioned previously, there's always going to be factors beyond your control. Let's say, I was talking to one of the other guys earlier during lunch. They were talking about how God is much more expensive than Kolkata. So this, yeah, oh yeah, sorry. So these are, I mean, if you want to set up an office in Guwahati, you have to bear that, right? I mean, there's nothing you can do. Maybe it will change. So these are some of the things we face with. I mean, it's just stubbornness on our end, but we know our goals. We are not delusional, I would say. Anyway, moving on. And we are also laying foundations for the ones after us, right? I was joking to Emily, our state is so behind everyone in terms of development. Like, there's nothing, even the roads are, so bad. Huh? But it's important to know that what you do now will affect the future. And you might not get to see the fruits of it in your lifetime also. Maybe I used to joke with him. But there is, I think this mentality is what's needed for our state, right? Okay, a couple of self-observations, which I would ask you to apply as well. What are your goals? For me, my goal is we want to make games, but we also want to bring a change to society. We want to create employment. We want to bring positive change. So a lot of these things are, one is not important than the other for me. So you decide yourself what are your goals, and break it down into smaller achievable steps. Like just an example again, coming back to the previous example, like how I did it with the intern I was training. So you just break it down. Sometimes it will work out, sometimes it will not. And yeah, no one will take you seriously until you get success, a little bit of success, then everyone. So yeah. But to achieve this, you need to fully understand your vision, right? What's your long-term goal? This is the thing which keeps you going. And if you have a team, make sure everyone is on the right page. Everyone knows. And this goes for your investors as well. I mean, you're raising some funds and you have a different goal and your investor is thinking different. It's your job to communicate with them and then make sure that you guys are on the same page, whether this partnership will work out or not. And yeah, ride or die together. You need to ride or die together as a team. There's no me doing a side hustle. I'll work 4 hours a day and then 4 hours I'll do this. There's no me, part of me. Like, you need to ride or die together. I mean, that's my point of view. You can differ if you want. And yeah, good things will always take time. We are in our 6th year now, and we are still in process. We haven't found success yet. For me, success is releasing a successful title, one. So we are on the road, probably, but I would still say we're still on the process. It will take time. Good things take time. So just try to ask yourself these questions. And looking forward to the future. Definitely, as I previously mentioned, this access to new opportunities is very exciting for us. Just having this financial help from, we're in this small town here in Nagaland, no one knows about, and then this giant Korean company comes and funds you, right? So, it's stuff like that. And these opportunities are real. They're in front of you right now. You can actually grab it. And partnerships are built on trust. Whether that be partnerships with your team members or your investors, your whoever is funding you. And it goes for your audience as well and your games. And in case some people out here have already gotten access to funds like us, we also have a very big responsibility not to misuse the goodwill, because it will impact so many other people as well. There's room for everyone. We all don't need to be catching the same fish. We can catch. There's a lot of fish. We can help each other catch all different kinds of fishes. And at the end of the day, whether you are an indie developer, whether you are a gamer, whether you are an investor, everyone will benefit from a developed ecosystem, right? So it's only fair that we are fair to each other. And good things take time. So I hope, please remember this. Yeah, that's it.
Thank you, Pekru. That was really brilliant, and I mean, it's good to see like your perspectives, and it's really good to see the humility and the vision of being humble all the time. Thank you so much.